Photosynthesis occurs in two main stages, the light-dependent reactions and the Calvin cycle, also known as light-independent reactions or the dark reactions. Here's a breakdown of each stage. 1. Light-dependent reactions. 1. Location. These reactions take place in the thylakoid membranes of the chloroplasts. 2. Input. Sunlight and water, H2O. 3. Process. 1. Absorption of light. Chlorophyll absorbs sunlight, energizing electrons in the chlorophyll molecules. 2. Splitting of water. The absorbed energy splits water molecules into oxygen, O2, protons, H+, and electrons, E. 3. Electron transport chain. The energized electrons move through a chain of proteins called the electron transport chain. 3. As electrons pass through this chain, their energy is used to pump protons across the thylakoid membrane, creating a gradient. 4. ATP and NADPH formation. The energy from the gradient drives the production of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and the electrons eventually reduce NADP+ to form NADPH. 4. Both ATP and NADPH are energy carriers that will be used in the next stage. 4. Output, oxygen, O2, ATP, and NADPH. This stage releases oxygen as a byproduct and produces ATP and NADPH to power the next stage. 2. Calvin cycle, light-independent reactions. 1. Location. These reactions take place in the stroma of the chloroplasts. 2. Input, carbon dioxide, CO2, ATP, and NADPH. 3. Process. 1. Carbon fixation. Carbon dioxide, CO2, molecules combine with a 5-carbon molecule called RuBP, ribulose bisphosphate, in a process catalyzed by the enzyme Rubisco. 1. This creates an unstable 6-carbon compound, which quickly splits into 2 3-carbon molecules, 3-PGA. 2. Reduction phase. ATP and NADPH from the light-dependent reactions provide energy and electrons to convert 3-PGA into G3P, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, a 3-carbon sugar. 3. Regeneration of RuBP. Some G3P molecules exit the cycle to form glucose, while others are used to regenerate RuBP, allowing the cycle to continue. 4. Output, glucose, C6H12O6, ADP, and NADP+, which return to the thylakoid to be recharged in the light-dependent reactions. In this cycle, carbon dioxide is fixed into a stable form, glucose, and the energy from ATP and NADPH is transferred to make organic molecules. Summary of photosynthesis stages. 1. Stage 1, light-dependent reactions, takes place in the thylakoid membrane, converts light energy into chemical energy, ATP and NADPH, produces oxygen as a byproduct. 2. Stage 2, Calvin cycle, takes place in the stroma, uses ATP and NADPH to convert CO2 into glucose, regenerates ADP and NADP+ for use in the light-dependent reactions. These two stages work together to convert solar energy into chemical energy stored in glucose, which can later be used by the plant and other organisms for energy.